So there's two questions that I asked myself a little while ago. One, do mid-roll ads affect a channel's performance? And two, do I make more money if I put mid-rolls into my videos? Those are two important questions that a lot of YouTubers are asking because they want to know if adding mid-rolls into a video is going to hurt a channel, or is it going to, not have any effect on the channel but earn more money. So in this video, we're gonna dive into mid-roll ads, and I'm gonna use my channel as a case study because I've been testing some different things when it comes to mid-roll ads to figure out what works best for me and my audience. And I'm hoping through my experience, you can take some of what I've used or all of what I've used and apply it to your channel and hopefully be able to find a way to make more money and also keep your audience happy. All right, guys, let's get into it. So before we get into talking about my findings, I just want to go through what a mid-roll ad is. So for those of you who are newer to YouTube, or you don't have your channel monetized yet, or you just haven't really paid attention to monetization, mid-roll ads are basically the ads that are served in the middle of your video. So there's three different types of ads. There's ads that go before, there's ads that go in the middle, and then there's ads that go after. Now the ads that go before and after, you don't have a ton of choice beyond just saying skippable or non-skippable. When you go into your back end of monetization, you can just leave everything on, and then YouTube's gonna determine what type of ad is going to be served up to your audience. And they'll determine whether it's gonna be a skippable or non-skippable ad. And a lot of this comes down to audience behavior, and YouTube is not always going to serve an ad. So they have their own algorithm that determines when an ad is going to be served. Now, mid-roll ads are actually the ads that are in the middle of your video, and you can add these automatically where YouTube just chooses the best moment and then puts an ad right there, or you can add them yourself and you can go in and manually put in where the ad is placed. So if you don't have YouTube Premium, you're gonna see an ad right now. Now, if you do have YouTube Premium on, then you just saw an awkward pause. And that's because YouTube Premium is an ad blocker. So basically, if you subscribe to YouTube Premium, you're not gonna see any ads. And this is one thing that I've noticed in my comments. When people complain about a mid-roll ad or too many ads on videos, I always wonder, why don't you just buy YouTube Premium? It's not very expensive and you don't have to deal with any ads. I've always been subscribed to YouTube Premium, so whenever I watch YouTube, I never actually see any ads. And because of that, I never really thought of mid-roll placement. I never really thought of using mid-roll ads. I mean, for me, I thought it would be too much of a disruption to turn these ads on. But I started digging into it a little bit more. I actually did a poll here, I did one on Twitter. I was asking, what people think of mid-roll ads. And then I've also seen other creators talking about this more and more recently. So about 3 months ago, I went through and turned mid-roll ads on all the videos that didn't have them. There were certain videos on my channel where I did include them, and those are like my 30-minute guide, and I'd put mid-roll ads in those videos, and what I noticed is those videos made a lot more money. So that made me think, all right, I'm gonna add mid-rolls to everything. So a few months ago, I went through and added mid-rolls to all of the videos that were doing well on my channel. So when I did that, I saw about a 38 to 40% increase in my revenue. And this is pretty significant. That's going from like $150 something a day to over 200. And over the course of the month, that adds up to over another $1,000 a month. So you can see how powerful these mid-roll ads could be. Now, one other thing to note when I'm talking about these numbers is I'm talking about when I'm not posting a video, because when you post a video, you're gonna see a spike in views, watch time, revenue, everything. So every time you post, obviously you're driving more traffic to your channel because of your subscribers, and that number is gonna go up. So you wanna look between video posts. So when I'm looking at these numbers, I'm looking between my posts to see where the average is over time, not when I'm posting videos. Now, there's a few factors that come into play when it comes to mid-roll ads. Number one is your CPM, because if you have a super low CPM, no matter how many mid-roll ads you add into your video, it's not gonna increase your revenue that much. And there are certain creators in different niches that really don't have the potential to earn a lot of ad revenue just because the CPM is low. Now, if you're someone in like the financial industry or something of that nature, the CPMs are super high. And Roberta Blake did a really good video that digs into, the best topics and the best CPMs that you can get. And I'll link to that video down in the description just so you can get an idea of where CPMs pretty much are. Now here on my channel, I'm getting around a $16 CPM. That's just channel wide. Each video kind of depends on the topic of the video. So if you're doing something in one topic that has a higher CPM, you might earn more money off of that. But that's a big contributing factor to, how much money you're going to make off mid-roll ads. Now, the other things you have to think about is where your mid-roll ads are placed and how often people are seeing them. So if you have a low audience view duration and your mid-rolls are placed later in your video and people never get to it, then you're not going to be making as much money. So there's all these different factors that go into whether a mid-roll ad is going to trigger and whether it's going to make you money or not. So recently I saw on Twitter, Gerald Undone went through and stripped off his mid-roll ads and he saw a 10% decrease. So originally I saw around a 40% increase when I added mid-roll ads. So I wanted to do a test. I wanted to see if I stripped mid-roll ads off of every video on my channel, would it affect my channel only about 10% like Gerald was finding, or am I gonna have more of a significant drop? Now, the reason that you would wanna take off mid-roll ads from your videos is audience experience. So when someone's watching a video and there's a mid-roll just in the middle of the video, it's disruptive. And there's an idea that if something is disruptive, it's gonna cause your viewer to click away, maybe go to another video, maybe just leave your channel, not wanna subscribe because they saw an ad. I don't know. There's so many different reasons that somebody might leave your video, and you don't wanna have ads being one of those. So mid-rolls could be this disruptive factor that causes someone to leave your video. And you always gotta be thinking about audience and your audience's experience, because that's one of the most important factors when it comes to your channel. If you have a good experience for your audience, that means people are gonna stay around longer, which means your average view duration is gonna go up, your watch time is gonna go up. Then YouTube's gonna start suggesting your content out to more people and your channel's gonna grow. All these things factor in together to determine whether you're gonna have a successful channel or not. And so you don't wanna do things that's gonna be disruptive and cause people to leave. So I wanted to test this because originally, like I said, I never really used mid-rolls. I did it on a few videos, but then I turned them all on. And I definitely saw an increase in how much money I was making per month, but I really wanted to test if it had an effect on my audience view duration, my watch time, all of that as well. So I did a test. I took off mid-roll ads from every video on my channel. I did it all at once because I wanted to see the complete impact of no mid-rolls from a period when I had mid-rolls. And what happened is when I turned off my mid-rolls, I saw a pretty sharp decrease in the amount of money that I was making. So I went from, in that period, I was averaging around $190 a day, and it dropped down to $120 a day. And that was around a 36 to 37% decrease. So that mirrored exactly what happened when I turned on my mid-roll ads. I saw about a 40% increase, and I just saw about a 40% decrease when I turned them off. Now that's pretty significant because that's the difference between a few $1,000s on my channel a month, because my CPM is up there at like $16. Now, if I was to have a lower CPM, you wouldn't see as much of a drastic change in terms of how much you're earning. However, if you have a higher CPM, that 40% drop makes a huge difference. So the other thing I wanted to look at was watch time, average view duration, views, all of that. I wanted to see if there was an increase, because the reason that you would turn off mid-rolls would be audience experience, and you'd want to see those metrics go up even if your income is coming down, because if you're getting more viewers onto your channel and they're watching longer, that in turn is going to help your channel as a whole, and the whole channel is going to move forward, which will lead to more money, which will lead to more growth, because if your channel grows, then, that's a good thing. So what I saw in that period was no change whatsoever in watch time, views, average view duration. Like, there was no change at all when I turned my mid-rolls off. And so for me, on my channel, I didn't see any significant reason to turn off the mid-rolls. I actually hurt my channel because I ended up making a lot less money. And as I said earlier, that's one of the ways that I'm able to fund and make the videos that I make here on the platform. So there's one major issue when it comes to turning off mid-roll ads and doing a test like this, is I had to go back and add mid-roll ads to every one of my videos. And this comes full circle to what I was talking about earlier. You can manually place mid-roll ads, or you can automatically place mid-roll ads. And you definitely want to manually place them because you want to put them at natural breaking points so that you're not creating a disruption for your viewers. If I was talking like mid-sentence and boom, there's an ad, all of a sudden it pulls the viewer out of whatever you're talking about. But if you have these natural breakpoints and you think about it while you're creating a video, then it's gonna flow better and it's going to cause less disruptions when your audience is watching your videos. And I think that's important. If you're using mid-roll ads, put them at natural breakpoints. Don't just let YouTube decide where they go, because they're going to cut off sentences and all of that. So I actually had to go back through and add mid-rolls to all my videos, and it took a long time because I had to go video by video, find natural breakpoints, and put the mid-roll in. So if you are going to go do this test, it's not something that you can turn off and just turn back on. It doesn't really work like that. Once you turn off a mid-roll, it basically wipes out the data to where that mid-roll was placed, so you have to go back and do that. So for strategy, when you're making your videos and you turn on mid-rolls, create breakpoints in your videos where a mid-roll is going to go. And then when you upload your video, make sure you add that mid-roll in right from the beginning. You don't want to have to go back later and go through your entire library and add all these mid-rolls in. Now, after I added my mid-rolls in, I went back through my library and added them to all 600 videos that are on this channel. And I went from where it was down to $124 a day, and now my average is up to about $220 to $250, which is a huge increase. So there was a lot of videos that I was missing mid-roll ads on before. So this time around, when I added all my mid-rolls back in, and I went through and placed them on every video that I could, it took days, it has an increase of around 100%. And that's a massive increase compared to other creators that I've seen who say 10% or 20% increase or decrease. 40 to 100% is a lot bigger number. And for me, it makes sense to add my mid-rolls in because I'm not seeing any major decrease in watch time or average view duration. So take this as a case study and maybe apply some of these things to your channel. Go look through your CPM, and if you don't have mid-rolls on, maybe turn them on. See what kind of effect it makes for each video. So if you have some videos that perform super well, turn the mid-rolls on those and manually place. Now watch the income on that video over time and see if there is a sharp increase in terms of percentage of how much you're making, because that might tell you, okay, I need to turn mid-rolls on to more videos. And then also look at watch time, average view duration, views, see if there's any sort of massive decrease. You want to pay attention, you want to watch your analytics, and if you turn mid-rolls on and it tanks your channel, that's not going to be good. But if you turn mid-rolls on and it increases your income, but your channel stays the same in terms of all your metrics, then why wouldn't you put on mid-rolls? That's a question I have for you. So guys, I'd love to hear your thoughts about this down in the comments down below. Let me know if you use mid-rolls or if you have any questions around mid-roll ads in general. But guys, that's it. I will see you on the next one.